Hi everyone, Vickie here. I don't have my chart open yet. Yes, I do. Here it is. And we're going to look at the new moon. Okay, the new moon on March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. It's at 26 degrees of Pisces, 9:14 a.m. Eastern Time zone. I just did over like a 40-minute reading, and I did the wrong chart. I did the full moon for Libra on the 31st, but I'm going to save it because it was a good reading. And I'll just post it in a couple more weeks. But I got a little ahead of myself here. So this is a new moon in Pisces. We got the sun, the moon, and Chiron. It's all conjunct Chiron. You know what? When I saw that 26 degrees, I immediately thought of the galactic center, and it's squaring up with the galactic center, and Venus is at the, not Venus, Vesta is at the almost just there, the 26 degree galactic center point. So it's a big download time. Pisces is a download kind of vibration anyway. You know, it's being in the spiritual. Look at this lineup here. You know, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things in Pisces here, and the new moon. So it's very much a Piscean kind of vibe that we're in, strong. It's trining Jupiter. Yeah. So Pisces, being in touch with the psychic, the spiritual, the intuitive, the past. It's the 12th house, and it's the past, and it's tied to the 12th house energy. It's tied to the past. Chiron is making its move. It's getting out of there, and it's like big time bringing up stuff, you know, and it's time of healing. We're going to heal. We're going to finish this off. The 12th house is always a time of finishing off. There's the first house, it's a new beginning, and we go round and round and round we go. When we get to the 12th, we're ending. We're ending, and then we start anew. It's a never-ending cycles. There's many cycles going on. And a bunch of things. We got the Mars at 29 Sag. We've got Uranus at 26 Aries. So we got these planets in these higher degrees. We're finishing of cycles, and we're about to turn a corner to a new cycle, which is the equinox on the 20th. And, you know, for years, I've said this before, and I was just thinking about it. For years, I've never ran a new and full moon chart, ever, pretty much, unless it was an eclipse, maybe. But I always would run the cardinal ingress charts, because when a sun moves into the cardinal sign, which, of course, when it moves to Aries, we move into spring in the northern hemisphere, and then the mid-year one is the summer solstice, and when it moves into Cancer, and then when it moves into Libra, it's the autumnal up here, the autumn, you know, and then the winter solstice again is when it moves into Capricorn. So it always, when we move into a cardinal sign, of course, with the seasons change. And I always ran those charts since I knew astrology for 20 years before I started doing YouTube. I would run the cardinal ingress, the change of seasons, you know, whenever it moved in, I would run those charts and apply it to my chart. And I am going to be offering, so I did it. I was like, man, why did I stop doing that? Because it was so helpful and so useful. And it tells you what the upcoming season is going to be like as you compare it to your chart. And I went ahead, before I get too deep into this, I went ahead and, this is the graphic for it that you'll see. I put a little graphic together. But here it is. This is what it'll look like. You know, it'll be a bi-wheel. It'll be your chart in here, and then the vernal equinox around the outside, and we'll look at some transits, and we'll look at the upcoming season, you know, and what might be in store for you in the upcoming season. And then at the end of it, I'm going to pull a little animal totem card. So that'll be a limited time. I just came up with that like last night because I did my own. I'm going, man, I should offer these. So I'm going to offer them. And if it goes well and people like them, maybe we'll do them every seasonal. But for sure, we're going to try it for this one. But back to this chart. We're not there yet. We're still swimming in the waters of the Pisces energy. We're still finishing up our Piscean things. We're still healing these wounds with this Chiron. These are deep wounds. And it's trining Scorpio. Jupiter in Scorpio. So the Scorpio energy is so amplified too. The Scorpio energy is wanting to go deep. And it's gonna, Jupiter always bestows blessings. So I feel like the Jupiter energy could make it maybe not so painful, or easier to swallow is the words that I'm hearing. Easier to handle, easier to swallow. But back to this, my first inclination here, and how we've got all this activity going up here to the 26 Sag point, and Mars is in there too. So we've got this, and it's right at the top of the chart here, the galactic center. The galactic center is this portal that information can come through, and it being in this Pisces energy and this new moon squaring it and activating it, we could very much be in a receptive mode. A receptive mode to receive guidance, to receive answers, to receive healing, to, because the galactic center is, you know, it's happening whether we're listening to it or not. You know, there's stuff happening, our higher selves, our guides, you know, whatever you want to call it, the universe. It's an open, you know, broadcast from the universe. It's always broadcasting. But we get in our busy lives and we're doing our thing and we don't pay attention, or we don't hear it, or we don't sense it. Pisces time, big time. Oops, big time. Time for that to be. I'm gonna put this thing down. Big time. Where we could be in that mode to hear, to receive, to understand, to heal. It's so much about healing. Dreams. If nothing else, you could be getting, I've been getting major dreams for about a while now, last few weeks, just crazy dreams. But a lot of messages could be coming through dreams for everybody. That's everybody. Your dreams is everybody's portal, everybody's access to the subconscious mind, to psychic impressions, downloads, and everything like that. So this is just a very strong presence, and the new moon is making it even stronger. Piscean type, new moons are always good times to kick things off, kick something off, get it started. And so what could we start under a Pisces moon? A dream journal, some sort of meditation practice, some kind of, you know, yoga practice, some kind of spiritual practice, some kind of therapy, even if that's your thing, if you're thinking about maybe going into therapy and delving into that subconscious mind. Talking about so this is heavy, you know, it's heavy. We've got Pluto, sextile Pluto, trining. You know, there's a lot of things going on at that time, and it's all this heavy psycho-spiritual healing energy, kind of not so focused in the real world. But then, however, this is all going to move into Aries, and we're going to start the new cycle like we were just talking about. And we have already Venus and Mercury are in Aries, along with Uranus, but they're together, they're traveling together here. And so they're going to make things happen. Venus is creativity, Venus is love. You could fall in love fast with this kind of stuff. With Venus and Mercury conjunct in Aries, you could just fall in love really quickly. Things could happen really quickly. I mean, Mercury is slowing down, and it's going to go retrograde shortly. Yeah, but it's not yet, and it's traveling there with that Venus. Like, you could get a creative thought, and then Mercury, you could make a phone call or send a text or an email, and it's happening. It's on. You know, the Pisces energy is not so great for action and making things happen. The Pisces energy is more about being in the dream state, contemplative, reflective, you know, cloudy, watery, you know. Aries is action-oriented. Aries is quick. It's spark. It's fire. It's quickly. Like I'm seeing, like, you know, what do they call those? Flintstones. Meet the Flintstones. No, you know, the clacking the two rocks together and sparks. You know, sparks are happening, and it's chop, chop, quick, quick, now. It's in the now. Do, go. So enjoy this enjoy this while it's lasts, because pretty soon, you know, the sun and all this stuff's going to get in there too, and we're going to have major stuff happening in Aries. But this is like a quick mind, you know, quick. Your mind could be really clicking along. This is so cool for writers, somebody who wants to write. Although Mercury, where's Mercury at? Yeah, we're talking Mercury's right there. Conjunct with Venus and Aries. Being able to articulate it, being able to get it down, you know. Oh, sorry about that. Because sometimes things just come and go so quick, you know. Especially with the, you know, the Pisces energy. Oh yeah, man, that would be a cool idea. And then, oh, look at the clouds. You know, you're kind of off in dreamland or la la land. But this is like, yeah, get it, write it down, type it in your phone, you know, say it, do it. This can be a little, this is almost like manic depressive. It could be, you know, this would be the manic part, and this could be, because the downside of that Pisces energy is depression. Like, why even bother? You know, you can get kind of too detached. You know, this is more feet on the ground, action oriented. What are we going to do? And with Venus and Mercury together, it would be proactive. You know, it would be the mind and the heart, Venus is the heart, working together. The creative energy and the implementing of it with the Aries energy all going together. Time for speaking and writing, and like being able to articulate yourself. Writing, if you've been stumped on a writing, if you're working on some kind of writing thing, or you have to write even like a sales pitch, or, you know, some kind of, you know, stuff like that, like copy for, you know, you know, some sort of, whatever, web page or whatever you might be working on. This would be a great time to really nail it down, you know, just like really nail it down, really, if you've had a writing project or a proposal, a grant proposal or whatever, something that you have to like really put your wording together carefully, and it's just like it's been frustrating, and it's just like you put it down, pick it up. It could come really quick and bing bang boom, just be done, you know. Awesome. And, you know, it's not there yet, but it's closing in on this Uranus energy, and that Uranus energy is trying that galactic center too. So again, it even Uranus elevates the energy even more. It's almost like I'll meet you halfway with Uranus. Because like I said, the universe is always broadcasting from this point of the galactic center. Broadcasting, broadcasting, broadcasting. 1 million people might pick it up. Nobody might pick it up. 1 or 2 people might pick it up. But it's coming. It's coming. With Uranian energy, because sometimes we're just down here doing our thing, busy, busy, busy. With Uranian energy, it kind of lifts it up. And the Pisces too. It's almost like I'm hearing for all those who have an ear to listen. You know, like I see somebody like holding their hand by their ear, like listen, you know, listen. What are they telling? Something about listen, somebody, and you shall hear the midnight ride of Paul Revere. Okay. Okay, I'll take that. Not sure what it means, but we'll hear. I hear you. We'll say that. Let me look at the aspectarian, because I'm looking at some of the stuff from the last chart. I got a little ahead of myself, didn't I? We got Mars. Oh, Mars is squaring the Sun. Did we talk about that? Yeah, Mars is squaring, and Mars is Aryan. Mars is the ruler of Aries. Aries Mars. Mars wants to, everything we just talked about, make things happen. Do it, do it, do it. Do it on the pavement. And Mars is squaring the moon because it's a new moon. What's going on? Can I see the bottom of the aspectarian? Thank you. Mercury, they're squaring Neptune. Okay, here's something. Saturn. It's a little bit of a wide orb. They're showing the aspectarian, this Venus-Mercury conjunction squaring Saturn. And that's a pretty wide orb, but it's squaring Lilith dead on. Yeah. So Lilith isn't really one for being very patient either. People could be impatient under these aspects, you know. I want it now, I want it now. Where's my thing? I want my stuff. I want this done, you know. I would not want to be somebody, even though it's a Pisces new moon. Well, I think there could be major, you know, here's how this could all unravel in a downside way, you know. I'm seeing somebody like at a customer service desk, like at a return place, like a store or something, and they're just like, oh God, one person after another, just I want my thing, I want this, like demanding. People could be very demanding under this, you know, and they're wanting things their way, wanting it now, quick. Aries, Mars, you know, quick now. I want it right now, and unwilling to bend because you think it's the greatest idea in the world, Venus, you know, and it's the most valuable thing to you in the world, you know. Can't you see that? I need this now. And then Pisces, there could be really totally, you know, misunderstandings, you know. All this heavy Pisces energy is not really the best environment to try to deal with this kind of stuff, to get things done quickly, to deal with details or mix-ups or, you know, get your ducks in a row. It's not, it's the best time to be philosophize or, you know, be creative or connect spiritually. So it's kind of, it's two different things that are working together. It's almost like it's a little bit of a respite before we really start in on this Aries energy. But this square could be a little bit much. Could be a little bit difficult. It could be, if you're in the creative field, this could be like, oh, I have this beautiful, I wrote my novel, you know, here's my opus, my great work of art that I've worked on all this time, Aries energy, I finished it up finally, and this could be your editor or somebody that just, you know, just changes everything, doesn't see your vision, is caught in their vision. Wants things their way. It's going to be Lilith in Capricorn is going to be my way. Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn. You know, these are powerful things. These are the ones in power too. You know, not wanting to change. You'll see in the next chart that I already did. I talked a lot about this because that's when everything really moves into Aries, about this. So I'm not going to talk on it too much now, but this square between the Aries and the Capricorn energy, I stumbled upon some really cool stuff with it too. I'm kind of excited to post that chart, but I'm just going to wait. But it does harken back to the Pluto-Uranus square. And I'll just briefly bring up again that the Aries and the Capricorn, their symbols, look, they're horned creatures, you know. Aries the ram and Capricorn the goat, they have horns. And what do horned creatures do? You know, it's not a love fest. I had 2 mourning doves sitting on my little gate on my porch this morning, cooing and kissing each other. It was so cool. So that's not it. It's like, rah, 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 rah. So, yeah. All right, so it could be conflictive. The Pisces vibe is kind of more, let's just step back. Let's just step back and watch it roll down the river. You know, this too shall pass. You know, not to engage. You know, that's not the best thing to do in a Pisces thing. Well, for one, there could be massive misunderstandings. You know, this clear, concise energy that you might be wanting to utilize or attract to, it's going to just get lost in the muck down here, you know. So you got your 2 Flintstones, and then you throw them in the water. What happens? They're gone. You know, the spark is put out. So just let things flow. Let's just let things kind of go with the flow. While the Pisces energy prevails, let's do some 12th house inner work, reflective knowledge, healing of these wounds. There's new information coming from the galactic center and from Vesta. Vesta wants to clean things up again and make things whole. I was going to say make things whole, but it almost wanted to come out holy. Make things holy. So Vesta wants that, you know, and it's by the galactic center. I think, you know, Mars was there, but it's kind of already passed. It's probably there now. When is Mars at 26? I just happen to have the old ephemeris open over here. Mars is at 26 on the 11th, so as of recording this, it's coming up this coming weekend, the 11th. Mars will be right on that galactic center. But I'm more focused on the Vesta. as it relates, because yeah, it's there, but it seems to me like it's just past already. And then this trine. Vesta wants to make things clean. Vesta wants to make things whole. And with the help of this Pisces moon, you could have enlightenment about it, you know. New information or new point of view could come forward. A new, get some different perspective on it. Broaden it, open it broader, you know, especially if it's some childhood stuff, which is often the case with, you know, this Chiron thing here. How you were wounded as a child, the wounded child stuff, you know. So, try to look at it from a bigger perspective. Okay, so first, when you're experiencing these hurts or these feelings, you're in your child self there, okay? Then the next step is you can look at it from an adult standpoint, not from your outlook as a child. Try to look at it as you, the adult, now, and hopefully that would broaden your horizon or broaden your perspective. And then if you want to take it up even another notch, so here you are, then the adult, and then if you want to take it up another notch, you could really go full out higher self, you know, the part of you that's, you know, beyond this earth, you know, that way. Your karmic lessons, karmic, you know, why, that maybe you chose that anyway, you know, and why did I choose that, you know, and, so as a child you're wounded. As the adult, maybe you can understand that the adults around you were not perfect, and that you can see it from an adult perspective. Then you could maybe get to the next level, and that's what Pisces is, next level, for sure, you know, and Neptune, the ruler of it all. You know, and then you could say, well, what did I gain for this? How was that a blessing in my life? You know, many of these things turn out to be blessings, whether you realize it or not. You know, I've seen this many times. Pulled you out of your comfort zone, forced you to be more resourceful, forced you to, you know, it pushed you in a way. You know, examine that. It's a time to examine that. I mean, it can unfold in so many different ways, you know. Maybe somebody who, let's just take the Piscean kind of energy, maybe somebody who was a really unruly child and was just all over the place. And, you know, nowadays they'd put them on drugs right away, but, you know, maybe your parent, you know, did something, disciplined you in a way. That showed you a coping mechanism, that showed you, you know, that prepared you for something. If this wouldn't have happened, then I never would have been here now. There's always some crazy blessing in it, believe me. Even the most painful things, you know, or even the most unorthodox things that you would say, you know, well, that's you know, by today's standards, that would be child abuse, and maybe, you know, probably would be. But how did it form you, turn you? On another higher level, you know, you can even say, well, when you see it from that angle, you can let it go, you know. You can let it go. You can realize it and release it. That's what Chiron and Pisces has all been about. And in another higher level, it's beyond just this incarnation. It really is, you know. And especially with this galactic center stuff. Come on. You know, it's all your lives. It's all your soul's journey experience. That's another chart that I offer too, that soul's journey, where I look at what are you working on karmically. I do astrology and I get psychic impressions too. But that's always available. The equinox reading is just going to be available at least for the month of March. I don't know how much farther beyond. I'll extend it beyond that. But talking about that new beginning, that reading, let me go ahead and flip over to that real quick before we'll come back and look at the chart one more time. Yeah, so what I do is I run your chart and then I put the equinox chart around. I've done this forever on my own chart. Of course, the 0 Aries point is always going to be at your same spot in your chart. That's not going to really change. But there's other things going on that I'll address and look at. And I do it in an astrology way, just like these charts. But I also, of course, it's a psychic reading, and I pick things up. And then I will pull a animal totem card for you at the very end. You can find out all that and more by visiting my website. I have the books. The mandalas are also derived from your chart. It's this psychic spiritual artwork that I do. There's all sorts of cool talking about Pisces and seeing spiritual. When you get into these mandalas, there's all sorts of stuff going on in there. I see stuff and I tell you what I see, and then people see stuff too. It's good forever. It's really a cool thing. Also, I have art, which is, lately it's the t-shirts art. And I have links to Amazon. Sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not, these things. It's funky how that works. But then you could always find them through here. You know, it'll take you right to the page. So I'm doing these t-shirts, and this is the readings page. We'll show you. I have decks and stuff too. That's divination tools. The readings page, I have it right at the top. So this is that equinox chart, but there's also regular card readings, and then this is the Soul's Journey reading, where I just take your chart and draw on it, make you a video, and we talk about it. And different smoke reading, that's a very Piscean thing. And then I have these reports, but they're all kick-ass. I mean, they're all like really, the year ahead is like 60, 70, 80 pages and stuff. And it's really, really thorough. So there's lots of cool stuff if you want to visit my site. Let's go back and take one final, wrap it up with our chart today. Yeah, so it's a new moon in Pisces. I would say let this kind of stuff go. If it's some kind of internal work, like writing, or something that you're going to just do on your own, or you want to get real clear about, you know, even getting organized maybe to some extent. But for the most part, if you're feeling kind of dreamy, or you're feeling kind of lazy, or kind of, you know, just allow that to happen. Don't be the fish swimming against the stream with the Pisces energy. Just be the fish going with the stream. And, you know, more and more could come. And I think it's just so crucial. I want to just mention this while we're still in the Pisces, because I know I don't talk about it in the next one. But I do talk about it a lot. It's so crucial before Chiron moves into Aries, which I'm not sure when that's going to be, but it's coming up. It'll be this year, that we finish up a lot of this stuff. Because if you don't finish it, then you're going to start a new cycle of it. And this is no walk in the park. Chiron is a 50-year cycle. Okay? So it's not something that you want to carry around for another 50 years, if you even have another 50 years on this earth. Some of us may not, you know. So we're talking potentially the rest of your life for a lot of people. You want to carry this around for the rest of your life? Or you want to get rid of it now. You want to look at it now. You want to deal with it now. And you could go, I'm sure you can even go higher, higher, higher than I was talking about. But at least come from, let's take it from the adult point of view. Looking at what happened in the adult point of view. Try to see where these adults who wounded your inner child, where were they coming from? Now that you're an adult and you can look at it from that perspective. That would be step one. And then we keep going up and up and up. And there's so, you could take it, it's infinite. You know, with the galactic center involved, it's infinite. There's no limit to how high it could really go. Okay, so here's to going higher. So, I want to take you high. Oh, chugga, chugga, chugga. I forget what song that is. I want to take you higher. I would look it up, but I don't know. That's the only lyrics that are coming to mind. I want to take you higher. So here's hoping everybody gets to go higher on this Pisces new moon. Thank you guys all for everything you do. If you want to get that equinox reading, I'm going to give it a try. And it's been of value to me my entire adult life using it. And I'm like, well, why am I offering this as a reading, you know? So check it out if you're interested. If it goes well, I may offer them at every season. You know, like the look ahead at the upcoming season, but we'll see. Thank you for everything you do. Ordering the readings, ordering the books, my decks, you know, the mandalas, liking, sharing, subscribing, you know, responding to the ads. It's my dryer. I always tend to do laundry while I'm doing these readings. Get some laundry done at the same time. No, I'm not sitting in the laundry room. Somebody has to. I'm upstairs and that's in the basement. But anyhow, thank you all for supporting me and my YouTube channel. And my channels, I have other channels. The Learning Songs for Kids, if you have kids, and I have another one with a bunch of music on it. If you interested in, you know, recording some of my songs, that's always on the table too, and I'd be very interested in that as well. But whatever, everything, it all adds up to me continuing to do the free readings on YouTube, as I do several times a month. I do 2 astrologies every month with these charts, and then I do the 12 zodiacs every month. So by you responding back to me in all the ways I just mentioned, that keeps it coming. Some people were saying they're having a hard time finding me. There should be a thing to subscribe in the bottom so you would never miss a beat. If you want to check out my website, you can find out all the stuff that I've shown you. Remember that you are love and beauty incarnate. Have a great new moon and St. Patty's Day. Don't get into any drunken brawls if you're out partying for St. Patty's Day. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.